Ta-da!
So at number 17, it's actually Fairytopia, Magic of the Rainbow. This is the third movie in the Fairytopia trilogy. Alina goes to this fairy school, and what do you know, Laverna comes back again and tries to take over as usual. While I do like this movie, I have to say it is the weaker one of the three movies. In the first Fairytopia and in Mermaidia, we got these grand, big scale adventures, and they chose to really dial it back here, and I don't know if it worked. Like, very Hogwarts stuff. It was pretty entertaining, but the plot as a whole was not very strong. Some might say they're sick of Laverna and they wanted someone new, but I think Laverna was pretty fine in this movie. Like, I like how she took form of Sunburst. I thought that was cool, and I like how she tricked Alina into turning her back into a human. But the love interest, or I'm not even gonna call it that because there was no romantic tension between, what's his name, Lyndon or some shit, and Alina. But yeah, he was really bland. But I liked all the other characters. Sunburst is fun. The other fairies were fun to watch, like to see their powers. I like Bibble, however, in this movie I just don't care for his subplot with Bizzle, not gonna lie. And the concept of this movie was good overall. I just wish there was more epicness, I guess. I don't know. It seems like something you can put in a like TV episode. But yeah, it was a fun movie. Just compared to its predecessors, it lacks that grandness and just doesn't feel as great.
Barbie! Raquel!
We object to this wedding! What? Can't a girl get a husband around here?
At number 16, we got Barbie Fairy Secret. Okay, we're getting to the good stuff. This is considered a sequel to the Fashion Fairy Tale, and I think it's superior. So Barbie's man, Ken, gets kidnapped by a fairy princess, and her and Raquel go on this adventure to rescue Ken, and they discover this big fairy world that they had no idea about. I love this movie. It's just such a fun movie. It's so wacky, but that's what makes it so good. It's so fun and colorful, but not in a secret door kind of colorful. It's more appealing visually, and I love the vibes. This movie never fails to entertain me. Every moment is fun. Now, I love the beginning and end of this movie. My only issue is it kind of gets messy around the middle. I wish this adventure of Barbie and Raquel was a little more thought through. It felt kind of rushed, but that's my only nitpick. I love the dynamic between Raquel and Barbie. It's a good enemies to friends trope, and I'm all here for it. But the true star of this movie is, without a doubt, Mr. Ken. He just steals the show, and I love his humor. Every scene he's in, I'm just so captivated. I love his little duels with Zane, and it's just a fun time. So the villain here is Crystal, who poisons Princess Graciela with a love potion because she's jealous and she wants her man. So she makes her fall in love with Ken, which is so stupid, but it works in this movie somehow. So yeah, I also remember loving the song, Can You Keep a Secret? So the nostalgia is real for this movie. So at number 15, we got Barbie and the Mermaid Tale. This is just your good, average, standard Barbie movie. It's definitely not a favorite, but it has a lot to offer. So this plot is basically Aquaman. Barbie's dad marries a mermaid. Now she finally discovers that she's part mermaid, and she has to go to Oceania to save her kingdom from her evil Aunt Iris. This is a great summertime mermaid movie. I love all the surfing scenes in the beginning, and I'm in love with the song Queen of the Waves. The dance is so fun, and my inner child just comes out every time the song plays. I like how it's a mix of like fantasy and like modernity, and Iris is a good villain. Not a top tier villain, but she's good. I like her backstory and that she couldn't make Marilia like her sister, the queen, so she's just had this like jealousy built up in her. And similar to the sequel of this movie, the pacing feels rather off, and I feel like something is missing. I don't know what. But yeah, the climax isn't that exciting. But I do love her transformation scene in the end, like into the mermaid. One of the best Barbie scenes ever, very iconic. So yeah, this movie has a lot of strengths. However, the adventure aspect of this movie could have been more satisfying, which is why it's at number 15.
I don't need your wings, Laverna!
So the next Barbie movie on my list is actually Barbie Fairytopia. This might be a shocker because this is a cult classic and I know it's a fan favorite. So let's get into the plot first. Alina is a wingless fairy and she goes on a quest to save Fairytopia because the evil sister of the enchantress, Laverna, has captured all the guardians, including the enchantress, and she's gonna drain their powers so she can rule Fairytopia or whatever. Now, I love this movie. It's a classic. I can't hate it at all. However, I do have some issues with it. So let's start with the issues. So this is your basic adventure movie, you know, her hero's journey kind of situation, which is fine, but I feel like Alina doesn't actually do anything on this adventure. She's just like flying through, not flying, but like going through different places and encounters some obstacles. I feel like her journey wasn't that entertaining to watch. Is that just me? My next issue is just Laverna. I really like Laverna. She's a great villain, but this movie came out around the same time where Barbie villains were at their peak, and I feel like Laverna could have just been a bit more threatening. She kind of just stands around the same cave for the entire movie, but you know, it doesn't ruin anything for me. Also, there's this butterfly named Hugh, and he's terrifying. Just had to add that. Positives about this movie though, I like Alina and her arc about being different. I like the world of Fairytopia. The visuals are pretty and the score is great. As for Bibble, well, I don't have strong opinions about Bibble. Some hate him and some love him, and I'm just like neutral. Like, he isn't that annoying, so it's fine. I also liked how we got a glimpse of Nalu and the mermaids as a little foreshadowing to Mermaidia. That was nice. But yeah, overall, this isn't one I find myself rewatching quite a lot. However, I can't deny it's a classic and will always have a place in my heart.
You don't want to work on Christmas? You're not dedicated enough to this theatre? Fine. Stay home. But if you do, don't bother coming back.
So at number 13, we got Barbie and a Christmas Carol. So this is an adaptation of Christmas Carol, and basically Barbie plays Eden, a spoiled star who learns the meaning of kindness when she gets visited by Christmas past, present, and future. This is such a delightful movie and one of my go-tos for Christmas. This movie is so underrated. People don't talk about it enough, and as a kid I didn't really watch this one, but when I revisited a few years ago I was blown away. It's just such a good movie all around, and the message really comes through effectively. Barbie is finally playing like a antagonist kind of villain, I guess. It's great to see Eden have this huge character arc. I think it's beautiful. I can see why this isn't a popular one because it doesn't really have that appeal to little kids. There's no bright pinks, there's no princesses, right? But to me it's perfect. It's a simple, grounded Christmas story, and I think it has so much heart. The music is wonderful, and I love the Victorian era England vibe it was going for. It's just so comforting. Seeing Eden's backstory and understanding why she's mean really makes you feel connected to her, and you just feel so bad for her. My only little thing I didn't like was Eden's ugly cat, Chuzzlewit. It had too many little, you know, shenanigans that took up too much screen time for my liking. But otherwise, this is a Christmas classic that I will probably be revisiting as Christmas is very soon.
My poor nutcracker.
Don't worry, Clara. I'm just wood. Remember?
So speaking of Christmas, we got the real classic Barbie movie. Barbie Nutcracker is an adaptation of the Nutcracker Ballet, and it follows Clara on this adventure to find the Sugar Plum Princess and save the Nutcracker in the land of Parthenia, is that what it's called? From the evil Mouse King. This is the first Barbie movie. It came out in 2001, so it automatically gets 100 points just for being the movie that started it all. This is the blueprint. Without this movie, we wouldn't have any of these Barbie movies, so I respect it a lot. While it isn't my favorite, it's still such a great movie with many good qualities. I love the idea of this movie, a fantasy Christmas winter adventure. The land, I think it's called Parthenia, I'm not sure. It's beautiful, and I love the aesthetics. We get our only animal villain in the whole Barbie series, and I think he's a pretty threatening villain, and his vocal performance by Tim Curry definitely shone through. And I love the reveal at the end where Clara was in fact the Sugar Plum Princess all along. I won't lie, I liked Prince Eric in his Nutcracker form way better, And I'm not a fan of Prince Eric. His design is ugly and he's so bland. But it's the first Barbie movie, so I'll let it slide. My only issues are that some of the dancing sequences like dragged on for quite a bit, especially the ice one, like near the beginning. I get it's a ballet, but those like scenes were awfully long. I feel like they could have cut those down a bit and add more to the plot. I love the end dance though, and I'm in love with Clara's dress at the end. It's so pretty and is still my favorite Barbie movie dress to this day. Major Mints and Captain Candy are hilarious side characters. I enjoy their banter, and they have this dance scene in the end that cracks me up every time. It's so funny. But yeah, overall this movie is a fun time, and I just have some others that I like better.
I need you to perfume my hair. And I need you to polish my slippers. And glitter my nails. And you have to do it now. Mariposa!
So next we got Barbie as Mariposa. So this movie is kind of in the Fairytopia universe. Alina is telling the story of Mariposa, a shy butterfly fairy who lives in the Flutterfield. The queen gets poisoned, per usual, by a trusted advisor, and Mariposa goes on a journey to find the antidote. This movie is so underrated, and I feel like it gets overshadowed by Fairytopia. However, I found this much better than Fairytopia. Mariposa is such a great protagonist. I love her quirkiness, and her voice actor really nailed it. I enjoy the message of this movie that it's okay to be different, and you don't have to change. I like Mariposa's friends, Reina and Rayla, and they had great character development. So, like Fairytopia, it's your typical like hero's journey, but this movie did the whole adventure thing better. I feel like Mariposa's journey is just way more captivating, and she's actually accomplishing things throughout instead of just passively flying around new scenes. I'm in love with the style and aesthetics of the movie. The nighttime vibes and the blue, pink, and purple color palette were so stunning. The cave of reflection scene was everything. I love Mariposa's costume design. It's so beautiful. The romance here is pretty weak. I almost ship Carlos more with Mariposa's friend Willa because he was with her the whole time, but that's okay. The villain Henna was decent, but more backstory would have been better to understand like why she wants to be queen, I guess, because it felt kind of random. The ski sites were not my favorite thing, but they didn't ruin the movie for me, and this bunny thing was also not my favorite thing, but didn't ruin the movie for me. She wasn't really annoying. And this movie has mermaids, which is always a plus. But overall, Mariposa is an amazing movie and deserves way more recognition.
You're in love with him, aren't you?
It doesn't matter. Princes don't go for commoners like me. I think he's in love with someone else.
Really? Who?
Top 10, guys. So these movies in the top 10 I think are just fantastic works of art, and not only are they great Barbie movies, they are great movies, period. So in at number 10 we got Fairytopia Mermaidia. This is the sequel to Fairytopia and the second movie in the series. Alina is back in an underwater adventure to save Prince Nalu, who has been kidnapped by Laverna. So Laverna's back and she wants to take over, but she's exiled as a toad. So Fungus Maximus has to do all her dirty work for her and get the immunity berry so Laverna can take over. And this movie was fun and my personal favorite in the Fairytopia series. Maybe it's my love of mermaids, but I definitely think this is just the strongest of the three movies. What ranks this movie so high for me is Alina and Nori's friendship development. They start out hostile towards each other because Nori is jealous that Alina likes Nalu, but it turns out she doesn't. And I think that was nice that they didn't try to force a romantic relationship with Nalu and Alina. I just love Nori as a character. I love her design, and I love watching these two just go on their adventure. I love the little subplot with Nalu and the fungi, like the leftaroo scene is so funny and iconic. But yeah, this adventure feels full, and I don't feel like anything is really missing. My only problems with Laverna, she doesn't get much screen time, she doesn't get much action. She's a frog for most of the film, and I wish we got more from her. Another thing is, okay, the sea turtle, guys. The sea turtle. Oh my god. That gave me nightmares. Oh my god. I'm not quite sure who thought that was a cute design. But yeah, great movie.
I'm sorry.
You stepped on 8 of my toes. I only have 4 left.
2. You have 2 left.
That's even worse.
My number 9 spot goes to Barbie Princess Charm School. So the plot is Blair Willows, this lower class city girl, gets enrolled by her sister to attend this prestigious royal school that builds girls to become princesses one day. So Blair has a lot of trouble fitting in and she lacks self-confidence. She then finds out she's the daughter of a queen, making her a lost princess and the rightful heir to the throne. This is like the only modern day movie in my top 10. I just really love this movie. It's so much fun. It's the perfect mix of a modern high school drama mixed with princess stuff. The message about self-confidence is nice, and Blair's arc is so great to watch, but also Delancey's character development. She goes from a bully to an actual nice person, so that was nice. The villain here is this diva who is Delancey's mom, Dame Devon, and she just wants to sabotage Blair because she recognizes her because she killed her mom and her family. Like, this movie gets weirdly dark. She literally admits to eliminating the royal families. Like, I love a good royal family murder plot. But yeah, the characters in this movie were a joy. Like, I love Portia. She's just the comedic relief that we needed in this movie. Don't really care for the fairies. Hadley and Isla were alright. I loved Delancey, as I said. And Dame Devon was a solid villain. So Blair didn't really have a romance with Nicholas. Like, there's this Nicholas guy. They didn't really have a romance. They kind of hinted at it, but not really. But it's fine, though, because they didn't really intend for that, so I can't really say it's a bad romance if they weren't trying to make a good romance. I love the climax. Every act in this movie is great, and I love how it kind of turns into this spy movie near the end. It's so fun. The songs were good. I think they fit the modern day setting of this movie, but yeah, it's also really high up because I love this movie as a kid, so there's a lot of nostalgia, and I had like all the dolls and everything. But yeah, really can't think of anything negative to say about this movie. I mean, oh wait, the one negative thing was that cringy dance scene. Oh my god, it's so bad, but it's hilarious. I feel like there's some stronger movies, but this is definitely worthy of my top 10.
Let me go!
What's wrong?
How is it that a prince can envision a man flying in the air, but not a girl as a musketeer? Huh.
Coming in at number 8, we got Barbie and the Three Musketeers. In this loose adaptation of the Three Musketeers, Barbie plays Corinne, an aspiring musketeer who conquers Paris to pursue her musketeer dreams, and with the help of her 3 other friends, they help save the prince from a plot. Because you guessed it, some royal guy wants to be king. This movie shaped me. It's so good and fun, and I appreciate the feminist message that anyone can do anything. I love the action in this movie. Corinne and her friends are like so badass, and I love it. We've seen this plot a lot where someone wants to kill the prince to become king or whatever, and it's getting a little repetitive, but I still adore this movie. The costumes are everything. They're so pretty, and I love the climax action sequence. It's so entertaining. Corinne's friends, Vivica, Renee, and Eremina, each have distinct personalities and signature colors, and I think they are also fun to watch. I always loved Vivica the best because she was a fashionable one. The villain here is Philippe. He's a decent villain, nothing super epic, just this guy who wants to take over. And yeah, this man straight up tries to kill the prince 3 times throughout the movie, so I mean, guess he's pretty threatening. As for Louis the prince, I think he had an okay relationship with Corinne. Definitely not my favorite Barbie romance, but we've seen worse. Miette the cat is cute. The music is good. I love the song All for One. And this movie's just all around an amazing and like thrilling time. This was also the last of the classics, which was an end of an incredible, iconic era.
I feel connected, protected. It's like you're sitting right with me all the time.
Number 7 goes to Barbie and the Diamond Castle. Long story short, best friends Alexa and Leanna go on a journey to help their friend Melody, who's trapped in a mirror, and save the world from this evil woman named Lydia, who wants all of music power to herself. Okay, that just sounded so odd, but yeah, that's the plot. Not too sure of Lydia's motives, but regardless, this was just an absolute gem of a movie. Obviously, this is a fan favorite, and we all know why. This is just a cottagecore lesbian love story, basically. Leanna and Alexa have this connection that really draws you towards this movie. I love seeing them on screen together, and you can tell they love each other very much. Now, this is a musical, so we got to talk about the songs. I adore the soundtrack. Every song is a banger, and I just love the acoustic guitar vibes. I love Two Voices, One Song, but I think an underrated one is We're Gonna Find It. It's so sweet. Okay, so there's these twins, Ian and Jeremy, who you think are the love interest, but they reject him in the end, and they go back to their cottage life. And it's just like, it works with the movie, because like the guys don't really do much, they're just like there. Lydia the villain is good. I don't like her song. It's like a 15-second song. I feel like they could have tried harder to come up with a good villain song. I don't really like Melody that much. I'm just invested in Alexa and Leanna. They really just sell the movie for me. I also wish we got a bit more of the Diamond Castle, not just in the end, and maybe more of like an in-depth backstory. But yeah, despite that, this movie is so good, and extra points because it's a musical and I live for musicals. Also, let's talk about these dogs, bro. Like, come on, man. Come on, bro. These dogs have become a meme, but it's like, I've been saying they are weird as fuck for the longest time. And yeah, they're just scary in that one dance scene. But it's hilarious. But anyways, I love this movie. Like, I just love this movie. No further comments.
I must ask, do you love her?
Yes, I love her with all my heart.
For my top 6, I'm not going to be reading off a script because these top 6 movies are just incredible. 10 out of 10 movies that I'm just going to speak from the heart because that's how much passion I have for these movies. So at number 6, we got Barbie as Swan Lake. This felt wrong to put so far back because this movie feels like it should be in like top 3, but there's just, that just goes to show how many good Barbie movies there are. So anyways, Barbie Swan Lake is about this girl named Odette. She's just a village girl, and she discovers this enchanted forest and realizes that she's the chosen one. And basically, this Rothbart guy, he's a villain, he wants to take this crystal that she has, but he can't take it for some reason. So he turns her into a swan, and it's an adaptation of Swan Lake. So yeah, this movie is so good. Okay, first of all, let's just talk about the aesthetics. This is the most aesthetically appealing Barbie movie. Like, it's so beautiful, and I'm not talking like the animation is great. I'm talking just the aesthetics, like the colors, the music. I just love the forest and the lake and the score. I know it's Tchaikovsky's, I know I said that wrong. I know it's just Swan Lake music, but it's so beautiful. I love the dance sequences better than like Nutcracker. I just love the dancing. I love everything about this movie. The kids were kind of weird, but yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. Rothbart is top tier villain. He is just so menacing. Like, you can tell, like, he will do anything just to be in power. And then of course his little sidekick, well, his daughter Odile, she's hilarious. Her voice just gets me every time. Like, I fucking love Odile, even if she's annoying. The only issue is really, I guess, the plot. The ending was kind of like true love kind of just like conveniently just saved everything, and it was like Rothbart got defeated because Odette and Daniel held hands. She got a little more action there. Now let's talk about the romance. So this is the third Barbie movie, so it came out in 2003. So the romances were more traditional, you know, which is fine. It's cute. Love a good romance, but obviously we don't get too much personality from Daniel. At least we get more. It's better than Prince Eric. Like he actually has a little bit of passion, you know, he wants to explore the world. But yeah, romance with Odette wasn't the best. He kind of asked her to marry her, like, and the ball scene with him dancing with Odile, like, that whole scene was amazing. Overall, I love this movie and definitely would recommend it.
Please feel the breeze, sweeter all the time.
At number 5, guys, Barbie as Island Princess. I fucking love this movie, and you guys know I love musicals. Like, I love songs. This movie has a bunch of songs. It's not the best Barbie musical. We'll get to that later. Yeah, so let's just start with the plot. So this girl named Rose, she's grown up on an island with animals because she was lost at sea, and she just grown up on the island. And then one day, this Prince Antonio comes to explore the island, and he meets Ro and takes her back to civilization. So it's just basically Ro trying to fit in. Ro and the prince, like, they start to fall in love with each other, but the prince has this rearranged marriage, and this evil queen Ariana wants her daughter to marry the prince so she can become queen, because of course, right? Of course. I just love this movie. Of course there's plot holes, but like, I just rather ignore them and just appreciate this movie for what it is. Let's just talk about the characters. Ro's great. Saji's great. Azul is good. Tika. Oh my god, bro. Tika, bro. Tika. I don't know what to say. Tika's just... Everyone already knows Tika's annoying. Like, she's just the worst character, and it's just hilarious. Her design is terrifying. Oh god, she's just the worst. Prince Antonio, he is a step up from other Barbie princes, because he has this personality where he's very adventurous, and I think I like that, and I like how he has a lot in common with Bro. Luciana is sweet. Tallulah is terrifying. Fuck Tallulah. Yeah, Queen Ariana, she's a pretty good. She's menacing because she literally admitted that she did treason. She killed. I kind of forgot the whole plot with her, but like, she killed people, probably. She killed people. Yeah. But yeah, this movie is just great in every way, and I live for the songs. Like, every song, Here on My Island. I need to know. Oh, why did I forget about that song? That is the best song in the whole okay, maybe not the whole Barbie, but that is like one of the best songs ever in Barbie. Like, oh my god, the harmony. But yeah, every song is great. I love every song. Maybe not the rat song, but I love every song. But yeah, overall, it's a great movie.
Sorry to burst your bubble.
Beautiful and feisty. Love it. Allow me to introduce myself, your future husband.
Husband?
So at number 4, we got Barbie Magic of the Pegasus. This is just top tier Barbie. I love this movie, so let's get into the plot. So this princess named Annika, she loves to ice skate, and she has very overprotective parents. One day, this wizard comes, and he kidnaps Annika, but Annika gets saved randomly by this Pegasus. And she realizes the Pegasus is actually her long-lost sister that she never met. And basically, Winlock, which is the wizard's name, turned everyone into stone, and Annika needs to build this wand of light so she can save her kingdom and return with her sister. So it's an adventure movie, but this just nails it for me. This adventure of her trying to build this wand of light, and each act of the movie is she's trying to retrieve a new object. That is like literally perfect pacing. I love Annika, okay? I love characters in this movie. Aiden is just top Barbie man. Like, he is up there. Aiden and Annika's romance is probably the best romance in Barbie. They just have this enemies to lovers trope, and it's so romantic. I love their banter. I love their arguments, and I love that he has a backstory, and he's not just this tough guy. He has a soft side, and he has this backstory that he used to gamble, and he owes his parents money. But yeah, this movie is probably my second favorite in terms of aesthetics. Like, right behind Swan Lake, it's so beautiful. The skies, the colors, oh my god, it's so beautiful. Annika's like dresses, I just love Pegasi. I just love the whole aesthetic. It's just a great movie all around. Wenlock is another top tier Barbie villain. Like, he is great. His comments, his lines are just so funny. He is a little bit creepy though. Like, why does he want to marry this like 16-year-old girl? But yeah, Retta's great. Ollie's great. Shiver, oh fuck. Shiver's cute, but like, she's kind of weird. She's kind of horny for Ethan. But yeah, we don't talk about that. Great movie.
And I remembered.
How did you find me?
I searched everywhere.
So we're in our top 3. So at number 3, we have Barbie as Rapunzel. I absolutely adore this movie. So basically it's about Rapunzel, but it's not really an adaptation because it's nothing like the original fairy tale. So Rapunzel lives in this castle with Gothel, and kind of like Cinderella, because she's basically her slave and she has to do everything around the house. And then one day she discovers this passageway to the real world because she's been in this tower for her whole life, right? She enters the real world and she meets Prince Stefan, and he immediately falls in love with her and invites her to like his birthday ball. So also Rapunzel's dad used to date Gothel, but then he rejected her and he married someone else, so that's basically why Gothel kidnapped her. And like there's this like feud between the two kingdoms because Rapunzel's dad's the king and he blames the other king for kidnapping Rapunzel when it was actually Gothel. So yeah, I love this movie. It's so good. I think the plot is what makes it so good. It's just so interesting and I love all the drama, and it's a classic. This one came out in 2002 and it's so nostalgic, and just the fairy tale fantasy vibes were just very nice. The music is really beautiful. The aesthetic is beautiful. I just love everything about this movie. The characters are nice. Rapunzel's good. I love Penelope and her character development and her dad's character development. Hobie's annoying. Otto is just weird. Prince Stefan, he's kind of bland, but it was a step up from Prince Eric, I guess. But he was pretty bland, honestly. But his romance with Rapunzel, I guess, was kind of cute, whatever. Gothel, she is such a great villain. She's top 3 Barbie villains of all time, probably. She's so scary, and her design is just so scary looking. Like, her face is like long, and she's just so threatening, and I was always scared of her. I love how at the very end of the movie she gets trapped in the castle due to her own spell. That was pretty clever. But yeah, honestly, this movie is like 10 out of 10. I love it. And also has one of the most iconic scenes of when Barbie like paints her dress. That whole dress transformation scene was everything. But yeah, I love this movie so much.
Taught him everything he knows.
Yeah, right, Felix.
Anything for me?
Are you kidding? He burned the midnight oil for you.
That'll do, Felix.
So, my number 2 spot goes to Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses. This movie, before I even explain my love for this movie, I just need to talk about the plot quickly. And Barbie plays Genevieve, and she has 11 sisters. So these 12 dancing princesses, they love to dance, but they're kind of wild. So their dad brings in his cousin to teach them how to be proper princesses. But she's evil, and guess what, guys? Guess what? She wants to poison the king so she could become queen. Oh my god. But yeah. So they discover this portal that leads to this magic world, and it's just a great ballet kind of movie. I love all the sisters. They have personalities. Obviously, we don't have time to flesh all of them out, but you can tell they're all different. I love the king's character development. He learns to accept his princesses as they are. Rowena's a great villain, and the way that she just slowly tries to kill the king is just so evil. And I love the music. Okay, when you first play the movie and you hear that, oh my god, my heart like is just like ecstatic. I love the score because like there's not really singing songs. It's just instrumental, and it's beautiful. All the songs are beautiful. When Derek plays the flute for them and he's like, that is so beautiful. And when they're in the magic world and that song goes, I love that. I love Felix. Okay, I wasn't a fan of the animals in this movie, but Felix was so funny. Brutus was kind of like a plot device. I really like him though. And then Twilight does nothing. I just love the vibes, like the aesthetic. It's just classic Barbie, like just these princesses. I just love it. I love the dresses. What was it again? Oh yeah, my favorite love romance in Barbie cinematic universe has to be Genevieve and Derek. Okay, I love Derek. He's just the sweetest, and he sold his horse for her. I just love Derek. I love their relationship, and I love how they both obviously have a crush on each other, and they're like shy to each other, and it's just so romantic. I just sound like Fallon. Yeah, and I love how the 12 Dancing Princesses, like, their names are in alphabetical order from oldest to youngest, which is cool. Oh yeah, speaking of the sisters, bro, I hate Lacey. She's so annoying. And I know she has, like, a character development, but, like, she fucks up, like, 10 times in the movie, and it's just like, girl. But yeah, it's a great Barbie movie. It's just great.
It's something anyone can see. A heart that beats, a voice that speaks the truth. Yes, I am a girl like you.
Oh my god, guys. Our #1 spot. You guys saw this coming. This is just the best Barbie movie. We can all collectively agree that this is just objectively the best Barbie movie ever. Everyone knows it. It's the fan favorite. It's Barbie, Princess and the Pauper. So, quick. Oh my god, this plot is just so intense for me to summarize, but I'm going to try to do it. Annalise is this princess. Very rich, but she has an arranged marriage. She wants to be free. She gets kidnapped by the royal advisor, Preminger, because he wants to stage this thing where he kidnaps the princess, and then he pretends to find her, so it looks like he's a hero, and then the queen will make him king because Annalise was too late to marry the other king. Does that make sense? It's confusing, but it's so good. The pauper, Erica, looks identical to Annalise, so they switch places. And Julian has this plan when they switch places. Julian is Annalise's friend. Has this plan where they switch places in the meantime, so we can understand and figure out where is Annalise. And I wish I could talk for hours about this movie, but we can't. I just love this movie so much. I'm gonna cry. This is cinematic gold. This is a masterpiece. This is not just a good Barbie movie. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. Oh, where do I even start? Let's start with the characters. The characters really just move this movie. Annalise and Erica are great. I love Erica so much. She's just this hardworking girl who's just optimistic, even though she is literally an indentured servant. The boys, the love interest, Julian and Dominic. I love Julian especially. He's great. Dominic, he's so pretty. But yeah, I love him and Erica's relationship, and I love Julian and Annalise's relationship. I just love both relationships. Let's talk about, we could talk about maybe the best Barbie movie villain of all time, Preminger. Oh my god, he is so iconic. He has this rich personality. You can tell he wants this power. You can tell he wants to be king. His song, we're gonna get to songs in a second, but he has just one of the best villain songs of all time. Not even Barbie movie songs. This is literally just such a good song, and I love Martin Short for voicing this amazing character. The animal sidekicks in this movie actually had, like, they weren't just there, they had meaning. Wolfie gets this whole arc, which I think is beautiful. I love Serafina. Preminger's dog is okay. And what was interesting to me was Annalise and Erica didn't get screen time together except for the one scene where they were singing I'm a Girl Like You, and then in the end. Okay, now we're gonna talk about the plot, and then we're gonna get to songs. The plot, guys. When I've been saying during this whole list, oh, the plot's not there for me, the story's weak, this is what I'm talking about. When I say I want a good storyline, this is literally Shakespeare. This is so complex. I don't get how I watched this as a kid and I understood, because this is so story driven. It's just, the plot is so complex, and just watching it unfold and watching this like mystery, it's like, it was really entertaining. The songs, guys, those songs, like, oh my god, this is a musical, the first Barbie musical. Every song in this movie is a banger. None of them are skips. Every single 1. Like, free. I'm a girl like you. How can I refuse? Cats meow. Written in your heart. If you love me for me. Did I miss one? I just love these songs. They're so good. Like, so good. Like, why is there not a live production musical for this? I love the aesthetics. It's so pretty, and again, just that classic. There's no bright colors. It's just this really soft palette, and it's just so beautiful. I love how also this movie doesn't rely on like magic. It's literally just so realistic and grounded. I just love it. There's no magic. It's just these princesses having a dilemma, and it's so great. This is just, I can't believe Princess and the Pop Star tried to remake this masterpiece. And it came out in 2004, which is my birth year, and it came out in September, which is my birth month. It came out like 8 days after my birthday. But yeah, I just love this movie. I wish I could talk about it more, but I really gotta wrap it up, guys. That's my list for you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I know you guys probably disagree, so just comment below, like, your order maybe. Thanks for watching this video. It took so long to make and edit. If you stuck to the end, that means a lot, and just please like, and please subscribe. I'm just trying to start this channel, and yeah, it just means a lot to me. Thank you so much.